As we ring in the new year here, what we're trying to do is upgrade our boxes during kind of our slow period in December. We really like the Weebitech boxes. We've been using Weebitech for some time. Weebitech's actually now owned by CRU Dataport, which is even a bigger company. But we know that a lot of photographers rely on the Weebitech boxes too. So these are the new boxes that Weebitech has out, the RTX line. We really like them, and so we're taking our time during this slow period in December to upgrade so that we're ready to go with our new drive systems and drive configuration come January 1st. So let's take a look at the boxes that we use. Our drive and archiving system needs several boxes. First, what we do is the files as we're ingesting them are written to what's called we call the working drive, which is inside the box. So we pulled it out just to show it to you. We'll take good care of it. In addition to writing to the working drive, when we use Lightroom, we have Lightroom write simultaneously to this box here. We call it the redundancy drive because it's a RAID box. You can actually have two drives in here. The great thing about these things is these drives slip right in, no trays, slip right in there. And now they're live and ready to go. Clicks right in. In addition, the really nice thing about this RTX box is it's got multiple channels for data. It's got the USB 2.0, it's got two FireWire 800 ports, and it's got the eSATA port. eSATA is our kind of data channel of choice because it is much faster than the FireWire 800s or the USBs. But if you don't want to go the eSATA route, which requires you to put a card into your box, then, or if you don't have a box, if you're using iMacs, then you can go the FireWire 800 route or the USB 2.0 route, and it works really well. So we really like this as our redundancy drive. The nice thing about that is that then means that the data resides in 3 places during our whole workflow process, on the working drive and simultaneously on 2 different hard drives on our redundancy drive. So in addition to this redundancy drive that we have, we also have this RTX 800NJ box. And what's great about that is that it's got we have our server down here. We have 2 video drives that fit right into these different slots here. And then we have last month's images that will be in this spot, in these 2 slots. And this month's images will actually be up here. And so what's really great about that is that we can have all 8 of our drives live in one box. There are 2 different flavors of data access or data channels for this box. You can go the SCSI route, or you can go the SAS multi-lane route. That's kind of a lingo term, but what we choose to do is go that SAS multi-route. We got the card for that to go into our drive. It actually comes with this RTX 800NJ. There's another flavor of it that's SCSI. But we really like this because the data transfer rates are really through the roof. When you're trying to ingest files and the choke point on your images is right inside the drive that you're using or the box that you're using, that's a challenge, that's a problem. So by using these boxes with those multi-lane data transfer speeds are really faster than the drives are capable of handling, and so it works really well. So as we transfer files off the working drive that's actually in the box, in the CPU that we're using, we transfer those onto this current month's pair of drives, but it simultaneously was on the redundancy drive as well. But it goes to these 2 drives as well. As these 2 drives then migrate to previous month, they come down here and then they migrate offline. We really like that system. We don't do a lot of video, but if you did a lot of video, you could actually use all these drives here for video. You could, any different compilation. We use it as a JBOD, or JBOD standing for just a bunch of disks. You can set this up in multiple different RAID configurations as well with the right card. So one of the other things that we really like about these drives and about the way that these drives store data is we can actually take this drive out, put it into another box, and plug it into the computer and access the files right away. The Weebitech boxes do not write in a proprietary file system that others can't read. It is interchangeable, and that's really important from a longevity standpoint. Some other drive systems write in a proprietary format, which you might not be able to get access to if the drive box were to go down a couple years from now, and that system might be no longer being produced or no longer available. We like the longevity that these drives have in terms of their accessibility. So as we get done with these drives, we actually store these in an anti-static box, so you can use anti-static bags. Most drives come with some form of an anti-static bag. But I really like these anti-static boxes. The drive slips right in and can go right up on your shelf. We actually have these boxes labeled by the image archive number and what's on them from month to month. So those work out really well. and these drives get stored, one drive gets stored locally, one drive gets stored off-site. Now when we're traveling on the road, we really like the ToughTech Duo. It stores 2 different drives. They're easily accessible. Take the drive right out. You can actually get one of these really small drives here. It's really simple to take the drive out. No screws or anything. It slips right in there. Close this little cord in. It's in there and secure. Slide these drives in. And all of a sudden, you've got a rated box, really small, FireWire 800 and also eSATA. Again, we do like the eSATA or SATA USB connection here. That's a SATA connection because on our laptop we use the SATA cord and we use the SATA card. And that SATA card plugs right in here to the side of the laptop and lets us access and read and write files at a really fast speed. And we really like storing the files on this ToughTech Duo because it's a rated box, 2 different drives, gives us that redundancy we need to be safe and secure and know that our data is safe. So that's about it. If you're looking to upgrade and change your hardware configuration, and now is as good a time as any. I like to make those changes come around the first of the year to make those technology changes, especially a good way to spend some of those end of the year tax dollars if you're looking for a deduction before you have to pay taxes on it. It's kind of like having the IRS pay half of the expense of the equipment, because if you got that money left over, you're going to pay double. You can pay your taxes on it. If you turn this into an expense, you can make that purchase. But upgrade when you have a chance to. Always try to stay current with your technology. Move images to the larger drives as you migrate from older drives to newer drives, and make sure you keep those drives spinning up every couple of months to make certain the lubrication and the bearings and those drive platters are really good and active, so that you don't get any issues with drive failure.